I did go into this review thinking that the My LIN is a completely fresh set of IEMs, but it turns out it's just an evolution of the MS2 Pro, or slightly different sounding and slightly different looking. Thank you to the folk at HIDIZS for making this review possible by sending me this demo unit. All thoughts and opinions are my own as always. So let's quickly jump into the build and the unboxing. This set of IEMs certainly comes with a lot more stuff in it than the MS2 Pro. In fact, you do get the IEMs in the box. You will also get 6 sets of ear tips, 3 of them being base ear tips and the other 3 being balanced ear tips. You also do get 2 other pairs of tuning filters along with what's already on it. In fact, the one that's on it is the balance filter. You do get a treble centric and a bass centric filter that you can swap with these. So you can mix and match this sort of permutation combination with the separate ear tips as well. Now you also do get your literature along with this, and you also do get a little, I guess what or who LIN is supposed to be, along with a little stand. It's a little sort of cutout. It's quite cool. I think some people will like this. And you do get a set of stickers and a very nice looking cleaning cloth as well, with the same sort of individual on this with the HIDIZS brand on the cloth as well. HIDIZS is stuck to giving their little leatherette sort of carry pouch, which is cool. So in the pouch you do get the cable, and I must say that this cable I have put side by side with the MS2 Pro one. This is a more serious cable. It's thicker, it's better made. It's definitely a more premium feeling cable, and it's got a good length to it. This is of course terminated to a 3.5 mm at the side that you connect to your amp or music player, and the other side is terminated to the 0.78 mm that will connect into the IEMs. The IEMs do carry on over the same design as the MS2 Pro. It does have the My LIN sort of brand written on it, the brand name. In fact, this does look like something that's come from out of this world. It doesn't seem like it's a normal material. It does have a bit of purple and blue in it with what looks like carbon fiber within the faceplate, which is cool. And of course here you do have that sort of gold venting port over here, and you do have a tiny little venting port on the lower part of the nozzle on the inside that sits inside a concha. Of course these do have the markings and the termination input here, but what's cool is, I think much like the MS2 Pro, is you can unscrew these little tuning filters. Now this one in particular is the red one, which is the balanced one. When you look into this, I'm not sure if this camera will pick this detail up, but when you look into it, you will see the tip of the BA driver, and as you can see, it is pretty well centered. They have done a nice job with placement, and all the fun I think with these is going to be in how much time you spend with different nozzles and different ear tips to get the sound you're looking for. On a comfort front, I've never really had a comfort issue with anything from HIDIZS. They've got some very well thought out designs. This sits very comfortably within my concha, and the nozzle as well is not very long, so it doesn't really shove itself into my ear and get uncomfortable. So I've been wearing these for hours on end, and I found it pretty comfortable. No real complaints there. Moving on to the sound, well, this does come with 2 drivers, one being a balanced armature driver and the other being a 10.2 mm dynamic driver. This does have a frequency response of 20 Hz all the way up to 40 kHz, and it has a very easy to drive low resistance of just 17 ohms. So I've been driving this very easily with a Rose's Elsa RZ550. It's been my go-to DAC amp for quite a while. Good amount of power, good amount of headroom, and it doesn't struggle with this at all. So much so I'm maybe giving about 20% volume, maybe less than that, to drive these IEMs through my Android phone. Whereas if I plug it into my Mac, maybe something around 40% volume is equivalent to this same output. I think Androids tend to boost the signal that much more at lower volumes. But anyway, moving on to the soundstage. Well, this I think is where HIDIZS has usually done a pretty good job, because I think they definitely also catering towards the gamer with these IEMs, because there are some tones that sit very prominently out of your head and slightly higher up than your eyebrow line. So a lot of IEMs tend to only sit, here and an inch out of your ears with the stage. This does have a little more expanse and a little more height than a lot of IEMs that I've heard in a similar price range. So I'd say this is perfect for if you're, watching movies with surround sound, or, something that's been mixed in a way where you are getting a sense of spatial awareness. These do that terrifically well in terms of soundstage with movie watching or games. And then when it comes to music, it does have a well-centered phantom channel with a good left and right separation, of course. And again, that height does give a different element to your overall music. I wouldn't say it's got too much depth this way, but vertical stage and width, I'd say, is pretty good. Its imaging, I'd say, is it's sharp, it's crisp, it's pretty well detailed for a set of IEMs in this price range. Again, it's much like the MS2 Pro. In fact, I did do a little bit of A/B testing. You have to really sort of sit and focus in onto both these IEMs with A/B testing if you want to know what's really different between them in terms of many things. But in terms of imaging, detail, clarity, a lot of those things are very similar between the two. The one thing that I can say I actually don't like with this set of IEMs, maybe because of what I've been testing in the past, I find these to be a little too transparent for a set of IEMs in this price range. And by that I mean having transparency is great because you can hear if your recording is good or bad, you can hear if your hardware is good or bad, and so on. But I'd prefer this level of transparency from something that's a lot more expensive. With this, it's pointing out a lot of flaws in the music I was listening to. So there are some tracks that I've heard with the more affordable IEMs in this price range, and they're a lot more forgiving. This doesn't seem to do that. I'm hearing a lot more distortion with a lot of tracks that I didn't think had distortion. It wasn't as enjoyable because it's making it more prominent. So if you are pairing this with, whatever music, be it streaming or stuff you have in FLAC, I'd recommend that it be very good recordings, very good quality, as little compression as possible. But that is something to keep in mind. Moving on to its highs, mids, and lows. Well, this is definitely following some sort of Harman curve. It does have elevated highs, recessed mids, and slightly elevated lows. But I will say that compared to the MS2 Pro, this does lean towards being warmer sounding. It's definitely not as bright. Not that I found those to be bright, but this does have more of a culling with the sort of brightness factor. High frequencies with the balanced nozzle. Well, I think they're fine. They're not too overly emphasized. They're all right, but in some cases it did leave me wanting, which is why I did put on the high frequency nozzles. And then with the high frequency nozzles, I'm being overly critical here, but there were times where things did seem to get slightly piercing, but very rarely. It does brighten up a lot of the music and make it a little more enthusiastic in terms of if you're listening to things from classical music and instrumental stuff and so on. But largely I have liked the balance because it's inoffensive in the higher frequency range. In the mid frequency range, it does have a bit of a recess, no doubt, but one thing I will say is that it does do a pretty good job with separation in terms of instrument vocals and everything. But also I did throw some female vocals at it. I do enjoy some female vocal tracks with jazz and blues. And this, I will say, does give a nice fullness to a female vocal. It doesn't sound thin. But at the same time, there is an airiness of certain female voices that this doesn't get too well. I suspect it's because it's not as bright sounding. It is more warm. So it did leave me wanting there, but I have to say it did leave me rather impressed with how it handles female vocals. In fact, when I did hear that, it did make me pay more attention to the timbre of this set of IEMs, and I must say it's good. It's not the most accurate out there, but it's also definitely not the worst out there. It's a good in between for realism. And then when you move on to the low frequencies, well, this is where I think it might put some audiophiles off, and by that I mean I wasn't too happy with how much bass this pushes out. No doubt it is a fun sound. It is definitely enthusiastic. But at the same time, I think, especially when you start throwing the bass tips or the bass nozzle onto this, it tends to, pull focus and attention away from the mids and the highs. It's definitely trying to impress you with the lower frequencies that I don't think is necessary. It doesn't have to be that much. Then again, it's not really bloated to the extent where it robs you of complete detail. It does get a little too big and enthusiastic. It definitely has a good extension for sure and a good kick in the low frequencies. But I think the best pairing with this is to leave those balanced nozzles on and throw the bass ear tips onto that, because when you use the balanced ear tips with the balanced nozzle, then the bass can seem a little bit lacking. It seems a little too thin. It doesn't sound as balanced with the balanced tips and the balanced ear tips and the nozzle. Whereas the balanced tips with the bass, the balanced nozzle with the bass ear tips is where the fun lies. But when you do the bass nozzle and the bass tips, it tends to seem like it's getting a lot more distorted with the same music. So I'd say you just have to sit and mix and match and see what works for you, and based on that, whatever genre you prefer, find the right pairing with all of these permutation combinations and then it'll keep you pretty happy. Yeah, but all in all, I'd say with in terms of music, I've usually leaned towards more classical with the balanced tips and the balanced nozzles. But when I want to listen to a little more rock, or something that's heavier and has a good bass line, again, it's the balanced nozzle with the bass tips. I think that's the best pairing when it comes to that all-round factor. And then moving on to the price. If this is a set you want to pick up, I will say if you have the MS2 Pro, maybe don't look for this because that by itself is a really lovely set of IEMs, and this is not a replacement as far as I know. I think those are still available for sale. Lovely set of IEMs. I really did enjoy those. This is just a slightly different flavor compared to the MS2 Pros in particular. So if you do want to buy this, you can of course pick it up online, and keep in mind you can get this with the 3.5 mm termination or a 4.4 balanced. I've tested it with the 3.5 mm, and I think if you were to get the 4.4 and you have the means to drive it, I have a feeling that the sense of warmth that feels like it's robbing it for some of some detail will be reintroduced with the 4.4, but I am only speculating. But anyway, if you do want to buy this, I will leave all the links down below. You can pick this up for about 89 USD between both. I think they're the same prices. But if you go to the HIDIZS website, they've got a whole bunch of bundle options. You can of course go online and check those out. I will leave the links down below for you to buy these. But anyway, I do hope that this review has given you a better understanding for the My LIN IEMs, and I do hope that I've helped you make some sort of purchase decision. If you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.